Okay,
That's right. Right, existing.
That's all that matters. Oh, we have wouldn't be a day in the 383rd without an audit. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody, or welcome. Welcome, friends, family, colleagues, everyone who are here on Zoom today. I would like to acknowledge Patrick's family are here, present, and our elected officials, Judge Sam Medrano, our current DA, acting DA, Bill Hicks, Judge Yara Gutierrez, former Judge Kathleen Anderson, Judge Karen Pelletier, Judge Laura Strackman, and former Judge Reed Leverton, and Judge Rodriguez behind me. Am I missing anyone? And any other elected officials I might have missed. I'd also like to welcome George Monserrati and Bruce Gomez, who are the head of our El Paso family bar. George really dressed up for you all today.
Very.
Knowledge. Yeah, thanks.
Professionalism always.
I also want to acknowledge some losses that we've had this year amongst our legal community. And today we will honor and pray for their families. But today we are here to celebrate and recognize Patrick Bramblett, who will be joining the 383rd family as our associate judge. We have some other folks here who are going to be sharing his accomplishments on paper, his resume, but I'm here to tell you why there was no other choice for me to be our associate, to be your associate judge, other than Patrick. I've known Patrick the entire 25 years that I've been practicing. And during that time, I've grown to understand that he wears many hats. There's the cowboy and wrangler, the mentor, the sponsor, the friend, the lawyer, and the one he wears most proudly, which is the father to his two girls, Taylor and Spencer. What made Patrick the easy choice for me is that he encompasses the perfect storm of qualities to be a good family law judge. First, there's his Texas plan. I mean, you can't have a good Texas judge without a Texas plan. But seriously, it was really his astonishing breadth of knowledge and experience that made him my top choice. It was also his incredible work ethic, his wholesale and zealous commitment to every client who he made feel as they were the most important person to him. And that was evident in the courtroom in any kind of hearing you would have with Patrick. But quite simply, it is because Patrick is the man that he is. And I might end up crying before we go. I want to be back to when Patrick and I were both running for this board. And I'm proud to say that we were never running against each other, we were always running for something. But I remember waking up the next day, and if you all remember, it was a freezing primary that day. Freezing rain. I don't think it's ever been that cold in El Paso. And I woke up to this text. It was like, hey girl, congratulations and good luck. And when I actually woke up to it, so I texted him back, and my son Benji was here, and Benji had met him out on the trail while we were campaigning. And he said, well, if I didn't make it, he wanted Patrick to make it, and he thought Patrick would be a really good judge because he looked wise. And I told Patrick texted me back, well, the word you're looking for is old. But it didn't stop there, and I want to share some of these texts because they exemplify again the man that he is. After the runoffs, he texted me, you're going to do great. You have always been the smartest one in the room. And then in January, after my first anxiety-ridden month on the bench, where I second-guessed every decision, where I overthought every decision, as if reading my mind, he texted me, you rock. This is going to be good. I'm glad you are a judge. The grace, the support, and the friendship he offered me speaks volumes about the type of man he is and the respect we have for each other and that he has for this court. Most of all, Patrick exemplifies the empathy that is integral to being a family law judge. After he submitted his application, he texted me, I applied with all my heart. And that's exactly what I expected. He practices family law with his heart. I remember early on in my career, we were sharing war stories, and Patrick, of course, practices criminal as well. And he told me how often it was easier to represent those criminal clients than it was those family law clients. He said criminal clients were bad people at their best. They never caused you any trouble. He says family law clients are good people at their worst. And that recognition of the complexity and the compassion it needs to practice family law is evidenced in him and has never waned over the years. And for those of you who've been doing this a long time, you know that's an accomplishment to still care after 30+ years. But at the end of the day, there was one quality that made it clear he was right for this court, and that is his humility. We hear many stories of jurists who forget where they come from, who leave behind their tribe of colleagues, judges who find it difficult to acknowledge when they're wrong, or we don't know the answer, or when we've made mistakes. I know deep in my heart this is something that Patrick will never lose, and why he was the right person for this job and for this court. So folks, get ready for plenty of cowboy aphorisms, because I heard tell, and I may be misquoting, that it's harder to dig a post hole with a tuna can than it is with a shovel. I'm guessing that's what it is. So I promise I'd be brief, and mostly because we've already put him to work and he has adopted him at 30. So partner, I could not have imagined anyone better as our judge. Thank you for joining our family, and we will always have your back. Thank you. Next, Joe Bramblett, Joe Bramblett. Change that vote.
So you already know I'm so we'll see if I can make it through this breaking down. I've known Patrick for close to 30 years. And I've known him in different roles as we've taken different roles. First one was as an attorney. I worked for Legal Aid, and at the time that I worked for Legal Aid, I found out what a tremendous human being Patrick was and is. Because as the judge indicated, Patrick has this tremendous heart for each and every one of his clients. Not for some, not for the ones that are wealthy, not for any particular type of clients. When I was at Legal Aid, and as you all know, Legal Aid or pro bono project has a requirement that we all take 2 cases per year, representing those individuals that can't afford an attorney. And I found out very quickly as to for whom those attorneys were that were willing to fight for the unrepresented, the unrepresented. And there were times when some attorneys, for the smallest of reasons, would bail on their clients. Well, the client wants part of the retirement. Well, how dare you? So I'm out. No, this is not uncontested, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so the director of the pro bono project would ask me, truly, you know some of these lawyers, maybe you could get somebody to take on maybe an additional case. And there's always one name that would come up. And if you know Patrick doesn't care how much is on his plate, he'll take on some more. Not one time did I get a no. I'd call Patrick and say, hey, somebody failed again. Would you be so kind as to take another case? Bring it up. Each and every time. He never backed down from another one. And God only knows how many cases I asked him to take on. And again, if you know Patrick, he doesn't care how much is in your pocket. He doesn't care about anything except for representing his clients 110% every time. I, as a judge, would not be able to tell whether the client had $1 million estate or had $2 in their pocket. Because Patrick Bramblett, on each and every one of those cases, was tenacious. And if you look up the definition of zealous advocate in the dictionary, you will see this man's picture. Sometimes it annoyed me as an attorney because I knew that there was going to be a fight to the end, but he was just representing his client to the fullest of his ability. I try to mess with him sometimes because Patrick, as you know, has a lot of energy in him. And Patrick would pace back and forth. Always pacing. And he liked to use the full length of where we were sitting down. And just to mess with him, I'd be sitting here and I'd lean back and I'd cut off part of his little run just to see if I can use it. He just give me that look like you jerk, but we keep going. Thanks. Patrick, with his fellow attorneys, just doesn't see an opponent. He sees past that. He sees you as a friend, a colleague. We have shared the ups and downs in our lives. He was there when I lost my mom. He was one of the first ones to call, to text, and say, hey, since it was in the middle of a campaign and it looked like hell. He was one of the first ones to say, don't fight. You guys been fighting. And for that, I cannot thank you enough. He's always had time to remember things about you, things that we discussed at one point or another, but you remember, hey, how's this going? How's that going? The thing I really enjoyed about Patrick is while we were both practicing is we share goofy little jokes out here. And I say, hey, that's a good one. I'm going to steal that one. But again, the thing that I know that his clients have always appreciated is the energy that he brought to each and every case. I have been just in awe of his promise. I just don't know how he did it. I really don't know how he did it. He just gave so much to each and every one of his clients. It was amazing. And to the point that I think it affected his health. I mean, he skipped lunch, probably go without eating an entire day because he was focused in on every one of those clients and to represent them at 100%, more than 100%. And I told my staff, how does this guy do this? I mean, does somebody wind him up every hour or two? Because I just don't see how he got the energy to represent his clients at that level each and every day, each and every year that I've known him. And it was just amazing to see. And so I have no doubt that Judge Bramblett will take that same standard that he's put upon himself as a lawyer, now that he is going to be a judge. Every case is going to be important. Every case is going to demand his attention. It won't matter if it's an uncontested matter. It won't matter if it's highly contested. I know for a fact that he is going to treat each and every one of those cases with the utmost importance. And for that reason, I am so glad that he's about to become a judge and the culprit. So, Mr. Bramblett, Judge, I just thank you for being Patrick Bramblett and giving me all those little things that I could borrow, like, you know, I'm running like a cobbler's nose.
I also want to acknowledge Judge Marlene Gonzalez and Judge James Lucas, who are also here. There are seats up there. You're welcome to move or stay where you are. And now we have Mr. Joe Gandara, AKA Joe Martin.
My wife said I didn't do my homework. My lovely wife is here. And when I was asked to speak, I'm very nervous. I have a knot in my throat. But I've been with this man for 27 years. 27 years. He's like a father figure to me. Everything that I've learned, everything that I know is he's taught me. And so one of the main things that he's taught me is that you always do the right thing. No matter what the consequences are, it's better to do the right thing. And I think that this is the perfect man for this job because he's always gonna try to do the right thing. It's funny that Judge Rodriguez says that because our office motto was, if they ain't got any money and we can help them, we're gonna help them. You know, it was funny because we're closing out files the other day. We've got people who have a balance of like $9,000-$10,000. And Robert always used to laugh back there, Robert Max, like, why do we keep working if they owe us $7,000? Because that's what the boss always said. We gotta keep going. These people need our help. And so I think he's gonna make a big difference here. I have so much I can say, but I just can't say it. I'm so proud of you. I really am. It's been a pleasure being with you 27 years. And it's a new chapter in your life, and it's gonna be a great one. I am so proud of you, I really am. Thanks.
All righty. And now is the big moment. We get to swear you in. And I understand your mom is here and she is going to be robing you. Is that one? First. Want to come on up? Are you ready? Ready? Okay. You hold on to that and I'll let you know when it's time to put it on. Okay. Okay. Very good. And we, just so you all know, we actually technically swore in this morning, so you could actually hear your cases. Repeat after me. I, Patrick G. Bramblett,
That should be Bramblett.
do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of the Associate Family Court Judge
the duties of the Associate Family Court Judge
of the 383rd Judicial District Court
of the 383rd Judicial District Court
of El Paso County of the state of Texas,
of El Paso County, state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God. Amy, I think I dropped some of your limbs. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
I got it.
You know, I was thinking today, I'm not a lawyer anymore. What am I gonna do? But they made sure that I didn't think about it too much because we had a morning docket, so I had to swear me in real quick and got the first pro se out of the way. So here we go. Here we go. I want to thank you all for being here, especially my family. It's been a trying time lately, but one thing that my family has taught me is resilience and hard work. And the saying is this kind of work might be rough, but it's better than digging post holes with a bar and a tuna can. With a bar, steel bar. Got the tuna can dig it out. And the post hole is supposed to be that big around, but by the time you pull out them big rocks, it's that big around. And so, hard work doesn't scare me. I can watch it all day long. I've watched, other judges. I wish I'd paid more attention about what they were doing than what I was gonna say next. Or some mealy mouth, half-hearted objection I was gonna make. But I did pay attention. I paid attention to this guy when he took the bench. I think I had your first protective order. And he pointed this out to me 20 years later that I'd actually forgot about. It was a pretty close call protective order. And Bill McLaughlin is sitting there and says, "Are you gonna let him hear this?" Now, some of y'all don't remember that Judge Rodriguez was the head of the county attorney's office. He was the head of that section that did protective orders. And I looked at Bill and says, "Well, that's a different job." And it was a different job. And he showed me that it's a different job. And if anyone would rise to the bench, he did it automatically. It was a close call. He didn't grant the protective order, but he sure gave a lot of, he sure reined in my client who had mental problems. This guy had been in the Middle East and had seen some bad things. And he brought, we finished that case, all start to finish with him, and he brought that compassion and that understanding and the ability to make a hard call and keep my client in check. And it's like, well, he's green as a gourd, but he knows exactly what to do. And I've always remembered that case. You could ask me about a case tomorrow. It's like, I don't know, you know. Give me, somebody give me the name of the case. It's like, wait a minute, I tell the story. It's like,
I probably, somebody's gonna shoot me in the guts, probably would be the other side, be my own client. It's like, wait a minute, before you kill me, tell me who you are. It's like, nah, tell me some of the facts of your case. But it's not because, I didn't care about the case or certainly didn't understand. It's just moving on to the next one. And I understand, in the 383rd, it's a working court. And to follow Judge Karen Pelletier is an intimidating little undertaking here. How that person does this is amazing, and she is truly my model of government. Got Kathleen Anderson here today. She can't stay on. She was tired of crying. For 25 years, she showed me how to do it, and I wish I'd paid more attention. And, I remember when she took the bench because I'm that old. We are so lucky. We are so lucky in this community to have the judges that we have. In Texas, we elect our judges, whether they can do it or not. And haven't we been just very blessed practitioners for the judges that we elect? It's like, my God, I told you she was the smartest girl in the room, smartest person in the room, and she is. And she's done great, hasn't she? You can do 7 things at once. I mean, she's over here, and then she'll tell you what your client just said that hurt real bad. She got it. It's just amazing. And I'm so happy to come here. It's like old home. It really is. The people that she has as a staff I've known for years, and hopefully that they will help me along. There's going to be a little learning curve here, guys. The technology is kind of spooky. But let me tell you what, it's going to be a joy coming to this courthouse every day. And it's good. It's going to be a joy to see these people. And hopefully we can get them in and out of here with dignity and respect. And hopefully show them that in family law, we got to show them that there's probably a better way. And that's my home. I'm working on my 3rd generation of divorced kids now. And we've learned a lot. And we have a lot to teach. I've got the original 383rd judge here, Judge Lever.
That was Kathy Cardona.
That's right. I'm sorry. That is right. But
What's that experience?
so good to see you. He brought again the dignity to the office, and it's so good to see you. Back then it was a split docket, and I think I ended up doing a capital murder case in that court. Can you imagine doing a capital murder case and divorces? It's kind of hard to switch here.
There's a fine line between the two.
I've always enjoyed, from the day I got sworn in, I love being a lawyer. I love coming to the courthouse. I love talking to the people. I love asking about the kids, and now these kids are lawyers and doctors. And it's just the camaraderie is wonderful. And to know that we're all in this together. We're going to try to start that court on time. We're going to try to get you in and out because we know you got someplace else to be. And my time is your money. So let's do this, you guys. Thank you, Sammy, for the rope. You're a beautiful man. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. We're gonna work hard, and as Taylor has, I got a placard that she heard it so much that she embroidered it for me. It says, do the next right thing. So let's do the next right thing.
And I would be remiss if I did not thank our extraordinary staff. I don't know where half of them went, but they're probably getting the food ready. So we have some food and cake and drinks and some light refreshments. Is it out this way?
Yes.
Okay, out in the front entryway. Thank you all for being here with us on this very special day, and let's go have some drinks. More drinks.